psychosomatic disorder, and the psychosomatic means body-mind relationship. Many disorders that have to do with mind can be controlled by doing meditation. So the secular meditation is so popular that it has become, according to internet, close to $4 billion industry today. $4 billion industry of meditation. Also, more than 500 books every year are written on meditation, according to internet. So meditation, secular meditation is becoming very, very popular. Now let me come to my third point. Which is my personal experience with meditation. Number one, I've done a lot of study of Hinduism and Buddhism. As Surendra Mathur was telling in introduction, I've gone to India. I've sat with many yogis and meditators. I've gone to Sri Lanka. I've studied walking meditation. I went to Japan, stayed in a monastery for a month and a 3 month at a time, and studied meditation with the Zen master. And I wrote a book about him, which if time comes I can talk about, the Laughing Buddha of Tofuguji. It is all about how the Zen master, through his meditation, what does he say and what does he talk about. I was very much impressed by his teachings. I studied meditation called Zazen. Zazen simply means in Japanese dhyan. It's a Japanese pronunciation of a Chinese word chan, which is the Chinese pronunciation of a Sanskrit word dhyan. Dhyan means meditation, as I told you. In Sanskrit it is called dhyana. So Zazen meditation is the mainly what I do, which I will tell you in terms of my practice. So I've studied in Sri Lanka, in Thailand. I've traveled to Burma with my wife Josna, Thailand, taken the students there and gone to many university. I spent 3 months, spending 3 months in China, headquarters in Xi'an University in Xi'an, central China, where I went and visited many hermits and talked to various Zen monastic leaders of Chinese monks. Unfortunately, I didn't write a book about it because I didn't have much time, but I have used that information in my classes, and I can tell you about that if you're interested in my travels to China. I was interested in TM meditation when I was studying in Berkeley. TM, Transcendental Meditation of Mahesh Yogi, became very popular. So I got fascinated by TM. I started doing TM meditation and had many experiences. Near Berkeley, there is a used bookstore called Moe's Bookstore, which was featured in the film called The Graduates. You might have seen. Those of you who are old-timers like myself remember the movie Graduate. Moe's Bookstore was shown in it. There I found a book, I paid 10 cents for it, called Yoga in 10 Lessons. It was written by a French missionary, Father Deschenais. That book changed my mind, and reading that book and doing TM meditation, I had many experiences. The one time I was meditating in my room in Highland Park, New Jersey, and I saw a light as if 1,000 light bulb lit in my mind, in my head, and I was totally overwhelmed by it. Now they say if you have experience like that, don't try to regenerate. Don't try to say to yourself, let me have that experience again. Because every time you try it, you never get it. And by the way, I have never had that experience ever since, because every time I sit in meditation, I think of that experience and I want that experience, and I can never have it. But it is possible. I have had experience of curing my headache in 1974 when I was writing my PhD dissertation. I developed severe headache, and I learned from the book that you can do Shavasana. Shavasana is playing dead, which means lying down on the floor as if you are dead. You both hands on the side and you breathe naturally looking at the ceiling or closing your eyes, and gradually you focus your mind on your brain and your headache gradually starts to leave you. So that's my experience, and I have been practicing ever since. Every time I have a headache, I can do meditation. I already mentioned of my field work with meditation in many countries. While I was living with the monks in Japan, I did a special kind of meditation which is called koan meditation, K-O-A-N, K-O-A-N, koan. It is a Japanese word. The Zen master assigns you a riddle, which is not really a riddle, but it is a mystical statement. Mine was, does a dog have a Buddha nature? Does a dog have Buddha nature? Another koan, which is very famous, is, you know the sound of two hand clapping. What is the sound of one hand clapping? It is not this, by the way. Sound of one hand. If you do like this, that's a wrong answer. But anyway, you assign these koans and you think about the koan all day, and you have an interview with the Zen master. You go in and you bow to him, and he has a little stick. He can hit you if he wants to. There are many stories about Zen master hitting the monks and enlightening them. I never got hit because I was friends with the Zen master. But I worked on this koan and eventually I was able to solve it. The issue is that you get into a meditative state where your rational mind is totally exhausted and your intuitive mind takes over. This is very common in the Hindu yoga and the Buddhist yoga, when the monks and nuns claim that they were able to overshadow or go over the rational thinking, logical mind, and they entered into intuitive mind, and the mind became like crimson, became like a clear mirror, and many answers came to them. So I had that experience at Tofukuji Monastery in